Hello there, everybody. This is Gwyneth, and welcome to my channel. This is a forecast for the week of the 15th to the 21st. And I have a lot to tell you, but I'm going to keep it succinct and so that it's easy to understand. And as usual, I'm going to say to you right from the beginning, if you are finding this channel fun to listen to and informative, please think to like, share, and subscribe. Okay, so let me talk to you about this upcoming week. So much is being said about it. I know if you're into astrology, you've been hearing about the energy that's flowing through the universe due to the 7 sign pileup of Aries. I keep saying to my friends, it's Aries all day long. So as we move through this week and into the next, and actually till the end of the month, we have very strong Aries effects. Aries is a fire sign. It's energetic, it's dynamic, it's commanding. Aries individuals are often in charge of something. They run corporations, or they may run the firehouse, which would be very fitting for an Arian personality. That's what's happening. 7 out of the 10 planets have moved into the magical fiery sign of Aries. And so wherever this lands in your chart, it lights you up. It demands that you put focus there. So I'm going to jump quickly into the review, and then I want to talk about you individually and your sun sign. So first of all, Wednesday the 15th, Mercury moves into Aries. It's been in peaceful Pisces. Now it's moving into fiery Aries. It's all about communicating your soul's desire. It's about people standing up to the plate and saying, this is what I believe in. It's hot. On the 16th, Mars, this is probably one of the biggest transits. Mars in Aries, which is hot, energy, let's do it now, sextiles Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto in Aquarius is all about humanity. It's all about taking care of the other person in a big way. We're gonna help the homeless. We're gonna do it in a big way. We're going to open up a soup kitchen. Absolutely. Let's get the corporations in on this. That's the energy of Pluto. But when you combine it in a positive way with Mars, it's about doing what you can for your fellow man. It's helping the underdog, but not just giving them $1. It's about really helping. So this is a very, very positive transit, and I could talk endlessly about it, but I'm going to keep it short. This is very important for you to understand. And this is taking place on the 16th. One of the other huge transits is the sun conjuncting the moon in Aries. So you've got the moon and the sun, maybe not necessarily in such a close degree, but they're both in Aries, and it's lighting the sector of your emotional being. You're feeling everything. I don't care if you are the type of personality that acts like the stone bridge in your family, that you are the brick and mortar that makes everything stay stable and safe. You will be feeling this particular transit on the 17th. Mercury sextiles Pluto, again, Pluto, the humanitarian, but this time it's in the area of communicating your ideas. So it's important to you to get your ideas out in the world, to share them somehow, some way. And then on Sunday the 19th, we go practical. So Aries energy in the planet Mars. You know, think throwing a fireball. Well, this time we're going to make a practical decision about our next big steps. And this is happening personally and on a global level. It's almost like you have the 1, 2, 3, 4, let's go aspects that are occurring this week. The last two things I'm going to mention as far as this review is that on Monday the 20th, the Sun is in an anaretic last degree of Aries. When a sign becomes or goes into that degree, it is potent. It's like drinking tea that's been brewed for a really long time. It can wire you up just like coffee. This is its last gasp in Aries. The Sun will sit there and it's going to make a statement or make something larger than life. And then lastly, on Tuesday the 21st, the Sun moves out of Aries and into practical, earthy Taurus. And this is big because we're starting to move the Aries energy out of the collective. Won't happen overnight. You know, Aries is a sign of the ram. So think of all these little rams walking away. A couple things, though, cannot be changed. Saturn will stay in Aries for a long time to come. Neptune will be in Aries for the next 27 years, lighting up our intuition, forcing us to deal with the unspoken. So think about that. I am going to move into reading the various signs, but I can tell you right now, it's all about this of impact from Aries and how this falls in your individual charts is going to be very interesting. But I have to say to you that I create charts that are based on a solar first house. So if you are in Aries, I put Aries in the first position, first house, as if it were the ascendant. If you know your ascendant, better still listen to that report. But you know, if I'm talking about Aries individuals, I'm talking about moon, their ascendant rising sign is what it is, or their sun sign. So on that note, I'm going to take a sip of water and I'll be right back. So let's get going. I will start out with the fire signs, and then I will look at the chart as it relates to what's happening right now, and then I'll pull some cards. Okay, so let's get going. Aries, how are you? I think this is an enormous time for you. There is no simple way to put this. This is the impact is unique and will keep affecting you for months to come. You're being put in the spotlight in some way. Currently, all 7 planets are sitting in your first house. It's about identity. It's about how you communicate that identity to the world. Simply put, but not simple. The other thing that happens that on the 17th, when the sun and the moon come together in that first house, there will be a wake up for you in some way. You will feel emotional. You will feel powerful all at the same time. And you might even bring up old feelings from somewhere. On the 20th, when we have that 29 degrees of the sun in your first house, leaving your first house, this is the king or queen maker position. Are you up for a promotion? Are you ready to launch a project? Are you ready to run for office? Because it's very, very powerful if you are. On Tuesday the 21st, the sun will move into Taurus, and it will move its solar energy into your second house of money. So everything you will be thinking about is, if I take this job, will it give me more income? If I take this job, will I have to move myself across the United States or across Europe or wherever this is taking you? But it's definitely going to put the focus on you and your earning power. And that is the big news for you as it relates to the astrological cycle for this week. So let's take a look at the oracle card and the tarot cards as they relate to this. So here we go. So exciting. There's so much happening right now. But it's all in one sign. It's Aries. It's a fire sign. It's, light up the dark energy. Aries, Aries, Aries. What do we need to know? Focus upon your strengths. There's no going back. You are in your most powerful cycle that you'll probably experience, in a lifetime. I'm going to pull 3 cards and see how they impact this. Aries, Aries, Aries. There is a celebration. You either attend it or you are part of it because of something you're working on. There will be an important message coming in, some good news, Page of Cups. And lastly, some information and news about increased income. Aries, I want you to have a fantabulous week. Let me know how you're doing. Contact me at cottagetarot.com. And you know what? If you're a shy Aries, this is not a time to hide your laurels under a basket. And on that note, be well. Hello, Leo. Let's talk about you. So, Aries, of course, is one of your fellow fire sign neighbors. But where does it land in this chart? Where? It is in that part of your life where it's all about expanding and growing and expanding your world beyond its boundaries. Learning, growing, traveling. 7 planets sit in that part of your chart. And they'll stay there for the rest of the week and a little bit into the next and for the rest of the month. So, where could this take you? I don't know. There are lots of you out there. Let me know. Go to cottagetarot.com and drop me a line and let me know what's happening with you. The big story is that the moon and the sun come together in the sign of Aries and will create all kinds of emotions for you. You might visit a place that brings you to tears. Maybe you're visiting your family's old property. I don't know, but this is deep. And this energy in the 9th house is about travel, exploration, learning, maybe going back to school. Maybe somebody's going to offer you a fellowship. But whatever it is, it's huge. The other thing is you will have practical opportunities around the 19th to do something with all of this energy that's pounding through your 9th house. So keep that in mind. On the 20th, the sun will be in its last 29 degrees of that particular house. And that energy will become even more powerful. So something is going to expand your world beyond recognition. And then on the 21st, the sun moves out of the 9th house, which is what I just told you about, to move into that area of your chart that's all about your great and glorious career. Where are you taking all of this learning? You might be in graduate school and somebody offers you a job before you even finish. Or maybe you visit some place where you can't leave because you love it so much, and you take a position working in a hotel or in a gallery or in some place that you would have never imagined being. So this is the story of the week, which will travel into next week. But with this move from the sun into Taurus, it's the exodus of, it's starting to move all the Aries planets out of your 9th house, and changes will come obviously with that. But not all of the Aries planets will leave. So stay tuned. I'll be talking more about that. But this is your story right now, Leo. So let's take a look at the Oracle card and see which one comes up for you. And whoops. They all want to come up for you. And remember, Leos are dynamic. They're powerful. They're friendly. They're outgoing. People like you. So you could be meeting folks from all over the place. Choose peace. If there's someone you've been struggling with, lay down the sword. Be the first one to say, you know what, I do care about you. Let's find a way of making peace. Let's see what other cards come up with that. You need to reflect on this, the Hermit. There will be news coming in, an offer of love. It might be this person you've been arguing with turns to you and says, I'm in love with you and always have been. Or it could be somebody else. Knight of Cups. And lastly, this is going to take you off your pedestal. It's going to make you wonder what has happened. And you may turn to a friend, a therapist, a clergy member to find out what's going on. This is the consulting energy of this card. So Two of Wands is an interesting situation that you're trying madly to deal with. The person you've been fighting with is actually in love with you, or wants to do something lovely for you or help you out. Keep that in mind. And as you go through the week, don't be shy about letting me know what's going on. Other people are, and it makes me feel like I'm being heard. You know how that goes. Okay, Leo, until next time, be well. Hello, Sagittarius. How are you? I hope well. We're going to jump right into your forecast. 7 planets in Aries. I don't know what to say to you. It's your fellow fire sign. There is dynamism happening, and it's in your 5th house of love and romance and children and having fun and going places. And it's like you're almost getting exhausted from the activities you're engaging in. There's too much fun. So take advantage of it while it's happening. This is big. On the 16th, Mars, the planet of action, will conjoin and work with and in harmony in a sextile position Pluto And this energy even expands into helping other people. Maybe you're thinking about getting your family to help a group of folks at a shelter, or through your church, or through your civic organization. But this is big. On the 19th, that Aries energy, because it's in Mars is in Aries, becomes even more dynamic, more physical, more motivated, and it conjuncts Saturn. So there are practical things that you can be doing that are creative, that are lovely, that are harmonious to the people around you. And if you are a single person who has had a friendship with someone that has turned romantic, you might be ready to reach out and say something. So that's happening. On the 20th, the sun goes into the anaretic degree, which is the last degree of Aries. And it's going to take that playtime energy and blow it up even bigger. Maybe you're invited on a trip to someplace like, I don't know, a cruise or Disneyland, or it doesn't even have to be that. It could be friends have said to you, why don't you come over to our pool party, or whatever it is. And this is the last gasp of the sun moving through that 5th house of fun, joy, love, romance. And it will move into your 6th house of work, how you work, how you manage it. What is your activity when you do work? Are you hurting your body too much? Are you sitting too much? Are you standing too much? And then it could also tie into making your body healthier, more beautiful, whatever. So that will be happening on the 21st when the sun moves into Taurus, into your 6th house, and you will start to feel a change. Okay, Sag, let's take a look at the oracle card that I pick and see how it interfaces with what we're talking about. Sag, 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 Sag. This relates to these people in your life: mother, wife, sister, and daughter. So, and if you don't have one of those people, then, that's okay too. But maybe it's somebody who acts like one of those significant members. Okay, Sag. You have had a hard time or a difficult time with one of these players: mother, wife, sister, or daughter, or they've been suffering. And that is coming to an abrupt end. 10 of Swords. You might even be talking to somebody who's an expert around psychology or theology, or just a good buddy who can help you work through the experience you've had. It could be a divorce. It could be somebody has passed away. It could be that one of your children has gone off to school. And by talking to this person, there will definitely be a healing that takes place. Okay, Sag, I'm rooting for you. I want you to have a wonderful week. And remember that the things that you experience only make you stronger. Take care. Be well. Hello, Gemini. How are you? Let's get going and look at your chart and see how it's all laying out. Aries is in that portion of your chart where people who care about you, believe in you, like your talents and abilities, are there to support you. It's the 11th house. It's also about you manifesting the dreams and hopes that you are experiencing. So that's happening. And 7 planets are backing that up. On the 16th, Mars is going to create an activity and sextile it to Pluto in Aquarius, so that there's something powerful happening that relates to possibly helping other people, but it's also about helping you to succeed so you can help other people, because someone believes in your ability. On the 19th, Mars and Aries will conjunct, which means be at the same degree and in the same sign. Practical, level-headed, hard-working Saturn. And this will allow you to come up with some practical tools that can help you manifest this desire of yours. Could be anything: starting a health clinic, a new restaurant, working with people who have less than you do, whatever. This is the moment. This is on the 19th. On the 20th, the sun, this is another big piece of information, will be at the anaretic degree of Aries. So that energy floating through the 11th house, if it so far hasn't done anything, will really be lit by this 29-degree marker of the sun. The sun is the spotlight on this part of your chart. 29 degrees is known as the king or queen maker. Highly famous people in our culture often have this 29-degree marker on their ascendant. It's the last gasp of Aries. On Tuesday, the 21st, the sun will move into your 12th house. Things quiet down. It's in Taurus. It is gentle. It is practical. It gives you a chance to slow it down a little bit. It's also the 12th house of concerns that you haven't been voicing, of secrets, of hopes that have been stifled. And those may be coming to the surface during this period of time. So let's take a look at the oracle cards, Gemini, and see how this works to back up what we're talking about. So Gemini, Gemini, Gemini. It's gotten really warm here. I live on the East Coast, and it's toasty. So we are at a point where we're opening windows. My cat and dog are hot. It's not quite time to turn on the air conditioner. Go now. So it's suggesting, this is the suggestion, that it's time for you to take action on some of those desires of yours. If you can reach out and touch somebody and communicate your insights, this might be a time to do it. If you're offered something, it might be wise to take it. It has to do with increased income. 10 of Pentacles. It has to do with you becoming more mature and using your intellect versus your emotions. And lastly, there's major emotional healing with the 8 of Cups. You're walking away from a disturbing, nerve-wracking period of time. Gemini, take care. Until next week, be well. Libra, how are you? I hope well. Let's jump right in here. Libra, all these Aries planets, 7 of them, are sitting in the part of your chart that has to do with your most intense long-term relationships, whether it's a marriage partner, you don't have to be married, but it has to be a partner, whether in business or some other, some other program that you run. But this 7th house is lit up by all of these powerful, pushy Aries planets. Mercury moves into Aries on the 15th, so it's about communication all day long. On the 16th, Mars in Aries sextiles Pluto. So there will be discussion, there will be action being taken. to do something to enhance that 7th house of relationships. I call it the big R. On the 17th, the sun conjuncts the moon, and it's even more emotional, more feeling. It's forcing you to deal with something in a long-term relationship that you maybe have tried to ignore. And it could be anything. So keep that in mind. On the 19th, we get practical. Mars in Aries sextiles Pluto in Aquarius. We want to take our energies and do something that really works. We're not going to just sit there. We're going to come up with a strategy. On Monday the 20th, the sun will be in an anaretic degree, which is 29 degrees, moving out of Aries in your 7th house. So the spotlight will be turned off in a little bit, but not until it makes one very loud statement about your long-term, very important relationship. On Tuesday, the 21st, the sun, which is, powerful and it just radiates energy, will move into Taurus in your 8th house. And how I translate this is that all the activities that have been going on in this 7th house are now affecting you and forcing some kind of transitory situation to occur. Maybe you're moving, maybe you're getting married, maybe you're getting divorced, maybe you're starting a partnership, maybe you're ending a partnership in a business, maybe you're bringing in other partners. Whatever it is, it's transition, transition, transition. And on that note, Libra, I'll leave you with that. Let's take a look at the Oracle card and see how this works for you. Libra, 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 Libra. Open your heart to love. So some of what's going on in the 7th house is about forming a stronger bond with your partner on whatever level this is occurring. Libra, Libra, Libra. Don't go crazy and do stay grounded. Page of Swords. It's not a time to jump into something without some careful consideration. But the star card, the lucky card, the anything is possible card is following up on this. And lastly, you are concerned about your finances, so consider that as you are looking at the whole picture. This is about considering your financial situation. It doesn't mean you will be without. And on that note, oh my goodness, Libra, I wish you a wonderful week, and I'll be back here after the 21st. Take care. Okay, Aquarians, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Where is Aries in your chart? It's in your 3rd house. Okay, 3rd house, what is that? It's communication all day long. 7 planets all encouraging you to speak your mind. It's also about your siblings, speaking your mind to your siblings. Maybe you're worried about a sibling. Maybe it's time to call that sibling. But whatever it is, it's dynamic. On the first day of this forecast, Mercury will move into Aries and really put the spotlight on communication in an area where it's already about communication. On the 17th, Aries is in the sun and the moon, and it's a new moon, and it's intense. It's a new start. You're sharing your feelings. You're sharing your ideas. Hell, you're ready to run for political office. You're so excited about what you've discovered. You may need to write it out or start a podcast or write a book or dance. Communication takes all forms. On the 19th, Aries sits in Mars and in Saturn, and they conjunct each other in the same degree. Saturn is practical. It makes things happen. We take it seriously. We get things done. So these ideas that are percolating inside of you are able to be expressed in a practical way. On Monday the 20th, the sun will be at the anaretic degree, 29 degrees of Aries. It's its last gasp in that sign. But it's the 1-2 punch in that area of communication for you. You are ready to unleash the dragon. And it's time. I love Martha Graham. She had a quote that goes something like this, and I won't quote the whole thing because it's a paragraph. But in no other time, no other place is there another you. And this relates to creative actions. It relates to ideas that you have, relates to the way you express yourself to the world. Don't forget that. On Tuesday, the 21st, the sun moves out of Aries and into grounded, peaceful, creative Taurus. And that's your 4th house of home, family, people that feel like family, people that nurture you. It's the matriarchy too, or the remnants of that matriarchy, or, you know, people in your life that remind you that there is that part of you that's important. So that's this week. Aquarius, I'm excited for you. I'm going to pull an oracle card now. Priorities. With all of this percolating in your brain, you have to decide what comes first. You can't do it all at once. There is a thief stealing your energy. You have to figure out what that is. Also, there's a voice in your head that maybe says, it's not important. That's not correct. If it matters to you, it's probably important. The Emperor, this is forcing you to take charge of a situation. And the person in charge might be the naysayer. So you have to consider that too. You've been worried about money, but there is a silver lining. 5 of Pentacles. And lastly, it's the luck card, the lottery card, the things will work out card, the star card. Aquarius, I'm on your side. Please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, be well. Hello, Earth signs. I'm going to talk to Taurus right now. All the Aries energy is flowing through your 12th house. You feel heavy. You feel concerned. You feel spiritual. You are contemplative. You are wondering what your purpose is. Rightfully so. And Aries is lighting up that part. And you feel it's time to take action. On the 15th, Mercury moves into Aries. So you're thinking, communicating, sharing this part of your world. On the 16th, Mars sextiles Pluto. It's even more bombastic, and you want to reach out and help people. On the 17th, the sun and the moon join together in the sun of Aries. It's emotional. It's fluid. You are right where you belong. You need and want to find your purpose. Excuse my dog. And he will bark again. On the 19th, we get practical. We come up with a plan. When Mars conjuncts Saturn, all in the sign of Aries, and Saturn makes things happen by nailing boards together, by working on a project together, by drawing up a strategy. On Monday the 20th, the sun is at an anaretic degree, which is 29 degrees of Aries. It's pushing harder for you to find your voice and your selfhood. It's deep, it's mysterious, it's convoluted, and it's always been complicated for you. But you're doing it. The anaretic degree is the most powerful degree because there's 30 degrees in each house. And when it reaches 29, it's like tea that has been steeped for a very long time. It's so powerful, it's like rocket fuel. On the 21st, the sun moves into Taurus, and it will sit in that part of your chart that's all about income, earning power, productivity, all of those good things. And for a while, the sun will light that up, and there will be other planets moving out of the Aries combination with the 7 planets. It'll start to calm down a little bit, but you will be taking all of this newfound insight from Aries, being in your 12th house, and start applying it to earning more money, or creating something, or making more paintings, or building houses, or coming up with a new invention. And on that note, Taurus, let's take a look at the oracle cards and see how they influence this reading, or how the reading influences the oracle cards. Taurus, 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 Taurus. Positive changes. I love this card. It's happening. Things are starting to move. You may have felt stuck for some time. And Taurus is not a sign, that takes things lying down. They want things to happen because they're very practical and they're very much motivated to do things. But there's a party, there's a positive outcome, there's something exciting happening. The 3 of Cups, it's the dancing women. You're ready for a vacation too, 4 of Swords. And there's some blessed new information coming your way. Someone likes you, someone wants to get to know you, someone might be having a baby, or it might be related to the income, or this plan that you've just hatched. So take care and understand that all will come together soon. Be well. Virgo, how are you? Listen, lots is happening. 7 planets in Aries are all moving through your transition house, the 8th house. You may have discovered that money is owed to you. You may have discovered there's a will coming, and somebody's left money in a will. You may discover that you are ready to move, or that there's a job that you wanted to have and they're really interested in you. Any number of transitional themes can light you up. On Wednesday the 15th, Mercury the ruler of Virgo, it moves into Aries. So communication is king. On the 16th, Mars, the planet of action, links arms, which I like to think of it that way, but it's a sextile to Pluto. So not only are you ready to take action, but you're ready to do it in a big, big way. You might be thinking of moving somewhere far away, or you may be thinking of taking a very powerful position, or maybe you're ready to start dating, which could be huge. It's all about transition. Excuse me. On the 17th, the moon and the sun, and it's a new moon. It's intense. But whatever this transition is, it's moving you in a totally new direction. On the 19th, Mars in Aries, very fiery, very motivated, very let's do it, conjuncts Saturn. And so Saturn in Aries is saying, okay, let's do it, but let's have a plan. I like that. On the 20th, the sun at 29 degrees Aries is in its last degree in the house. So there's only 30 degrees per house. 29 degrees of Aries is powerful. I keep using this analogy, but I think it fits. If you've ever made a dark cup of black tea and let it sit too long, it's strong. And it can make you jittery or it can make you active. But it's also, when it's at 29 degrees, it's known as the kingmaker or the queenmaker, or it's the energy, if that's found in a chart, of somebody who has a point to make during this period of time in their life, or they came in that way. On Tuesday the 21st, the sun goes into Taurus, and that will land in one of my favorite spots in the world, in the chart, is the 9th house. You get to travel, you get to explore, you maybe go to school, you discovered that in your neighborhood there is a bakery that will blow your socks off, and you make friends with that person. I love it. It doesn't have to be huge, but it can be poignant, and it might make you very happy. So on that note, I want to look at the oracle cards and pull one for you and see how this plays with what we've been talking about. Virgo, 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 Virgo. Take charge of this situation. Let's see what that means. This is exciting. I truly love mixing the oracle cards with the tarot. I just think it's great. The Magician. Oh my goodness, this is so apropos. You have the talent, you have the ability, you have the training, and you have the fortitude, and you have the spiritual acumen to push any project forward. You say to yourself, I can't go back to school because I'm too old. Forget that. You can do it. You can't start a new business because you don't have enough money. You can do it. There'll be somebody there to support you. Whatever's going on right now with you, you can do it. There'll be good news coming to you. A blessed event of some sort might be occurring. Someone's getting married, someone's having a child, or maybe somebody's fallen in love with you. And lastly, don't go off without a plan. When that, on the 19th, when Mars conjuncts Saturn, sit down and draw up at least a to-do list. So Virgo, blessings all around. Take care, and until after the 21st, be well. Hello, Capricorns. How are you all? So, been busy, huh? All that Aries lighting up the 4th house, home, family, the hacienda, the stone cottage, the yurt. The matriarchy is ablaze with all these 7 planets in Aries, because the 4th house rules mother. So let's talk about it. On the 15th, Mercury moves into Aries, or the sign of Aries. So communication all around. You might be talking a lot to somebody who cares about this subject. On the 16th, Mars sextiles Pluto. Action is necessary when it combines like this. It's combustive. It's time to take action. No more sitting on your hands. Are you selling a house? Are you moving into an old house that belonged to a relative? It's time to get going. On the 17th, you've got the Sun conjunct the Moon. It's emotional. I'm sorry. It makes you feel a little bit loopy because there's so many feelings involved. I like to talk about tea, drink tea and carry on. On the 18th, Mercury sextiles Pluto. Your ideas, your communication arena is boosted. Someone's listening to you. On the 19th, we get practical. Mars, the just do it planet, in the sign of Aries, comes together, conjuncts Saturn in Aries. And the plan is that you have to take action, but you've got to have a strategy. I don't care if what you do is make an extensive to-do list, but whoever you're working with needs to hear this as well. And if you're flying solo, you need a support group. On Monday the 20th, the Sun is at an energetic degree, which means intensity personified in that area, 4th house of home and family, etc., etc. It is making all the stuff that we've been talking about take form. Doing, thinking, communicating, making lists. It's in its last gasp when it's at 29 degrees, but it's also incredibly potent. I got hair flowing down into my glasses. On Tuesday the 21st, the Sun moves into Taurus. It's quieter. It's gentler. But Capricorn, it's more fun. It's about your kids, having activities with them, going places, taking them out for pizza, walking in the park, meeting somebody that you have a romantic interest in, maybe going on a date, maybe taking your old partner on a date, creating something rich and delicious in the kitchen. It's creative, it's adventurous. And the Sun is moving into that 5th house. Delightful. So Capricorn, keep that in mind. Now let's take a look at the Oracle card. I feel like a magic genie. I love it when things move into the 5th house. I get so warm and loving and feel so happy for you. Okay, enough of that. Clear and shield your energy. Do not be a sponge. I know some quick tricks. Get into a bath with some salt water. Go swim in the ocean. Clear and shield your energy. Create a white bubble around you of white pure light. Call on your archangels. Call on any spiritual teacher that you follow. Capricorn, 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 Capricorn. The Chariot going in a new direction. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Probably not until July, but something's happening. There is a blessed, oh my goodness, this is the love card. You might meet somebody new. You may start something new. This is lucky. It could have something to do with your career, but you could be going to a christening or something like that. It's all tied in with a vacation too. The vacay, the Four of Swords. One more card. You've been worried about money. It's going to be fine. Not worried about you. You just have to look for the exit off the highway that will help you find an increase. Capricorn, I'm so excited for you. Take this time to really think about what your next steps are with home and family. And until after the 21st, enjoy yourself if you are going on some kind of trip, and be well. Take care. Cancer, how are you? It's been a busy period of time, and it's not over yet. Where is Aries in your chart? Because 7 planets are moving their little ram feet through it. It's in the 10th house of your career, your great and glorious career, your activities in the community, what you do for the service in your life. What do you do to help the people around you? That's the 10th house. Maybe you've been contacted for an interesting job. That's Aries, because Aries is making things happen. So let's jump in here and take a look at this. On Wednesday the 15th, Mercury goes into the sign of Aries, so you're communicating with somebody. On the 16th, Mars in Aries sextiles Pluto. It's kaboom, action. Things are happening in that 10th house. They want you. Somebody wants to hire you. Something's happening in the career realm. And if you are retired, that doesn't mean that you're not working. On the 17th, the sun conjuncts the moon. And now we get all emotional about this career, or your service to community, or the club you belong to, or your block watch. But whatever it is, it's happening in a big way. On the 19th, Mars and Saturn link forces. Mars in Aries conjuncts Saturn in Aries, and we get practical. You know what that means? You get offered a job somewhere in another part of the world, and you have got to figure out how you're going to move the 2 parakeets, a couple hamsters, 2 Pekingese, and 2 Siamese cats to England. You're going to have to make a list. You're going to have to set your priorities. You're going to have to get really hyper-focused on your next steps. On Monday the 20th, we have the sun in 29 degrees. It's the last gasp of the sun in Aries, and it's at 29 degrees, meaning it is the hyperbolic, potent energy that happens when it's in the last degree within a house. There are 30 degrees, and this is it. So it lights that place up. We have to take this seriously. This is called the King and Queen Maker degree. You are sometimes born with this, or you are born to be important in some way in the world. But in this case, it's an important moment in time. On Tuesday the 21st, the sun moves into Taurus. And where does that fall? Well, you know, we've been talking about your great and glorious career. Now it's going into the 11th house. And the 11th house is about your dreams and wishes. It's subtle. The sun in Taurus is practical, it's warm, it's cushy, it's all about making pottery and pots of soup. But it's also about the people who back you and really want to give practical support. So keep that in mind. So Cancer, I am going to pull an oracle card for you because that's what I do. Please like, share, and subscribe. You know, this is what I do. I'm very excited. I'm going to turn this off for a second. Okay, Cancer, what do we have going on here? Choose peace. So someone may not agree with what you're trying to do, but work it through, because you can be the bigger person. Doesn't mean that you have to accept everything they're trying to say or do. Just means that a détente is important right now. Yeah, there's been a battle. Could be with a brother or sister or a boss. The Empress. This is about being creative with the situation. It could be a difference of artistic opinions. Page of Wands, there's news about one of your younger siblings or a child. They may have found out that they are pregnant. Or they're in an art show, because the Empress is about creativity. Or they want to go to art school, and you thought they wanted to be a surgeon. But it's lucky. The lottery card comes up. They're fine, and they want to grow. The star card means luck. Stepping into something, a situation that's good for them or good for you. Okay, Cancer, until next time, come back after the 21st. I'll be here. Take care. Scorpio, how's life? Let's jump into your forecast. Aries is in your 6th house of how you work. What do you do for work? Can you change it? Can you make it better? It's also about your body, making it stronger, making it healthier, dealing with things that will manage you better. All the Aries planets are there right now. So on Wednesday the 15th, you have great ideas coming up, and you're communicating things to people, and you're waking up because it's in Aries. On the 16th, Mars and Pluto come together, and there's some dynamic, positive energy flowing through this 6th house. On the 17th, the moon and the sun come together arm in arm in Aries, and we are intense. Try to avoid arguing with people. It's just not worth it. But if you have to stand tall, there's no way around it. It's also emotional. On the 19th, Mars in Aries conjuncts practical Saturn in Aries, giving you some practical tools, or someone's giving you advice on what to do in the workplace or what to do with your body beautiful. And it could be about exercise. It could be about diet. It could be about how you pick up things. Maybe you want to learn to lift weights. I don't know. But this is a great time for that. On the 20th, we have the last gasp of the sun in Aries at a 29-degree mark. It's the anaretic degree. It's the most powerful. I use the analogy of steeping a tea bag too long. It's strong. It'll give you the jitters. It'll high power you in ways that coffee can't. But it's going to mark a time and place and make something happen in the 6th house. On Tuesday the 21st, the sun moves into your 7th house. It's all about the big R. Relationship, 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 whether it's business or personal. Keep that in mind. And it's earthy. Taurus. Pots of soup. Planting a garden with your partner. Whether it's a garden of plants, a garden of chickens, or a garden of children. You're growing something. Need I say more? So let's take a look at the oracle card, Scorpio, and see how this is impacting you. Scorpio, 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 Scorpio. Yoga. Can we believe this? We were just talking about bodies. Now, I'm not saying you should twist yourself into a pretzel. There's some cute movies that have dealt with this. Need I say more? But this is the card about doing something that will relax and ease your tension. Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. Whoa! I'm not good at shuffling. I have small hands, and if the cards are really big, they jump out. Healing. This is temperance. So something that will balance you, like yoga, Tai Chi, Pilates, would be fabulous. I'm only the messenger. This is great for you. Can't hurt you. Queen of Wands. Take charge of this. So, and also you could have somebody in your life who's a Sag, Leo, or Aries who can help you. You're moving into a more gentle period of time. Six of Swords. So it will be easier. Things will get sweeter. So Scorpio, I want you to have a blessed week. I mean it. I have a lot of Scorpio friends out there. Find a way to ease up on yourself. And until after the 21st, be well. Holy cow, Pisces. Do you remember the line out of Batman? It was like, holy cow, Batman. Well, in this case, it's holy cow because all these Aries planets, 7 of them have been moving through, like they're on a gliding conveyor belt in your house of productivity, how you earn money, how you attract and manifest things to you. And it's in the second house, and it's been intense. On the 15th, Mercury moved into Aries, and it's all about thinking about this situation, whatever this situation is financially. Maybe you want to earn more. Maybe you want to spend more. Maybe you want to find a way of saving more. I mean, I don't know, because there are a lot of you, but you're kind of waking up to talking about this with people and learning more. On the 16th, Mars, the planet of action, sextiles Pluto, and you got a kaboom moment. Holy moly, I could do it this way. On the 17th, the sun and the moon come together. They conjunct in Aries, and it makes you very emotional. You may feel like you've lost your window of opportunity. Don't get down on yourself. This is a moment to try to find a way that works for you. We are not perfect beings. We're beautiful beings, but you know, some of us have talents that have nothing to do with finance. So Pisces, be cheery and get some support. On the 19th, Mars conjuncts Saturn, and this is where the practicality comes in. You're going to take action. You're going to create a plan that's related to the second house of income. Maybe somebody wants to give you their grandmother's armoire, which is a really big piece of furniture, and you want to fit it into your house, but you don't know how to. That's where you go get somebody to help you. That's attracting a material thing into your life. So it could very well not just be income, it could be other things. Maybe somebody wants to give you their car. That'd be nice. On Monday the 20th, the sun will be in the anaretic degree of 29. And it's sun in its last moments in Aries. So the heat is slowly coming out of this second house of income and finance and how you earn it and how you attract it and all of that. It's slow. It's not going to go away entirely, at least not for the next month or two. But we have to realize that now on the 21st, the sun moves into Taurus. And that is in your third house, where you are starting to share your ideas about life with different people. You may be sending out manuscripts. You could be talking to your siblings about this stuff. You maybe have learned something about your financial situation and how to manage it, and you want to share that new insight. But with Taurus in your third house, things start to level out a little bit. So let's take a look at the oracle card and see what it has to say as it relates to what we've been talking about. Balancing career and home life. Maybe that's all it means. Maybe you need to be working at home. Maybe you need to be doing something that takes less stress so you don't have to eat out as much, or you can have a couple days at home where you feel like you're actually more productive in the long run. Let's see what the tarot cards have to say as it relates to this Pisces. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. I'm going to take this one. The High Priestess. Use your intuitive powers. Pisces, you're incredible when it comes to this. This is intuition. What do you need to do? Take some steps that will make you feel more secure. You have the power and the ability to take charge of your financial situation. And there could be somebody behind you that wants to help, who has a lot of knowledge about finances. You have talents beyond talents. But the person that we're talking about has the skill, the abilities, the kindness, the spirituality to help you. The Magician. They're like a magician when it comes to money. And lastly, this could become a creative project for you. You also might want to be thinking about having a child. And you're trying to figure out how you can do that, particularly because it came up with this, balancing career and home life. How will money work? How will you earn enough if you're working with a child, taking care of a child? I leave that to you. Pisces, I will be back after the 21st. Please drop me a line if this made sense. And also, like, share, and subscribe. But if you don't like to press buttons on the computer, just tell somebody about my channel. And you can drop me a line at cottagetarot.com. That's where I am at. We've worked hard to create these little sites so people can connect with me. And my team would love for you to like, share, and subscribe. So take care. Be well. Bye-bye.